today on OUA. King Jules takes the crown with his first Player of the Month award. The last Knicks player to do that was Carmelo Anthony back in 2014. We'll also be talking the Knicks' current position in the Eastern Conference. Will they remain at the 4th spot or will they fall in the standings? We got all of that plus more. Stay tuned. We're talking Knicks. Good morning, YouTube. It's your boy. And you are now tuned into another episode of OU and Knicks podcast. I am joined by the lovely Miss Lee right now. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Yes, and we're going to be talking Knicks for all of you people out there. We may throw in the little things, in the end, but we'll see first how everything goes. Now, we're realizing right now that the Knicks are currently on a 3-game win streak after coming off a loss to the Suns. But first, we want to talk King Jules.
Let's get it.
Julius Randle got his first Player of the Month award for his play in the month of April. He averaged 27 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists, completely dominating the league. So, Miss Lee, I'll ask you, is there more to come from Julius Randle?
Definitely.
Why you say that?
I think with the game that he's playing now, from last year to this year, he has developed. So I think now that they see themselves potentially going to the playoffs, I believe that his whole mentality of how he played the game has changed, and he's starting to realize that and really falling into line on where his game is going, how to.
He's a leader now.
Yeah, he's falling into that leadership role, which is great, and you can see now as a whole how they're playing cohesively together, which is wonderful. It's wonderful to see. And, there are times he might have a little off game, but he know how to bounce back. And if he's not doing it, he's making sure that his teammates is doing it. Exactly. So I'm just looking to see what they're going to do in the playoffs. How much further he's going to go once the playoffs starts.
Okay. I definitely feel like, and I totally agree with you, I think that there's a level up that Julius Randle can take at this point in time in his career. He's already proved that over the first 7 years that he has had the growth in him and the ability to not only, change his game, but perfect his game while changing it. Julius Randle wasn't really taking that many threes. If you look at the statistics right now, Julius Randle was on pace to take more threes this one season than he's taken his entire career in the NBA. So when you couple that in with, the how fast it was within a year of him upping his game, you have no choice but to think that he can step it up another notch. And he has. He wasn't putting that many 30-point games up in the beginning of this season. If that was the case, he'll be averaging 30 right now. But he's on pace right now where he's almost averaging 30 points per game since the All-Star break.
To be honest with you, I've never seen to say the Knicks take as much threes have they been taking this season and is actually making them.
Exactly.
And I like the fact that I think too it's coaching style, to be honest with you,
Yes.
because if you don't have the right coach and the a coach or team and the whole staff that's willing to encourage the players them to be confident in themselves and knowing that they can make those shots, keep making those shots, because there's sooner eventually you're gonna make them.
If
They're
you keep
gonna fall
practicing.
if you constantly keep practicing. And I like the fact that they're improving in their free throws. They're drawing more, getting majority of the time they don't get the contacts that they need to get to where they're going to the free throw lines to get those free throws.
Excuse me for just one moment. If you're new to the channel, just make sure, please, like and subscribe. Hit that notification button. Link up with your boy on Twitter. I'm trying in my heart to get Miss Lee to, get on Twitter, so she could give her thoughts and inputs on the games at the moment that they're going in. But, we'll work on that in the future. But if you're new to the channel, make sure that you like and subscribe, hit that notification button, link up with your boy on Twitter, and also link up with me on Sports Blog. And we just want to build the fan base up, get to 1,000 subscribers, so the YouTube algorithm can go up for us, and we can start at least make a little bit of money off of doing something that we love to do. Because if we didn't love to do this, we wouldn't even be here right now for you. You get what I'm saying? So if you're new to the channel, make sure that you like and subscribe and hit that notification button so you could be linked in with all the videos that we're going to be dropping. And also, I do have a new video coming up about strictly RJ Barrett. So make sure you link in, because that's going to be coming to you guys soon. Let's get to another topic when it concerns the Knicks. The Knicks play the third game of this grueling road trip. They face the Denver Nuggets tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Nuggets are coming off a loss to a short-handed Lakers team, so you know that they'll be looking to redeem themselves. But do you think the Knicks have a chance in beating the Nuggets tonight?
They do. Listen, the Knicks at this point, they are well capable. They are confident in themselves, and they're even winning games shorthandedly. So my only thing with the Knicks is, once you start and you find that rhythm, and especially if you're leading them in the first half, there's no need for you when you come back in the second half to give them momentum. That's like my
totally agree.
that's my only thing with them. They come out, they start off real good, or even if they don't start out good, but then by before it goes to halftime, you see that they getting in their rhythm, and they come back. Once they come back from halftime with that momentum, they go on a stretch. I want them to continually to keep that stretch of gameplay to where don't lack on defense. Be constant with your defense. That's like one of my pet peeves with them. It's like, where's the defense? Stay on defense, continue to grind, and let them play your type of game.
Exactly.
Don't conform to them. Just play your game and keep it going.
Exactly. I totally agree. And something that I want to bring up for you guys is, I don't know if you watched the Milwaukee Bucks game last night against the Brooklyn Nets. And it's a player that's on that team that I want to talk about. And you'll see where I'm coming from in a minute. His name is Chris Middleton. You just seen him on your screen. Chris Middleton has an ability to not really go off in the first half that much. But if you notice with his game,
he declined.
He not just that. I'm not trying to make that point. Chris Middleton has the ability to turn on his game in the second half, especially the fourth quarter.
When the game is pivotal.
Exactly. R.J. Barrett, a player that's it's the same exact way. But the good thing about with R.J. Barrett is R.J. Barrett turns on his game coming from the third quarter into the fourth quarter. He turns on his game in the second half, and that's something that I feel the Knicks should use more to their advantage. R.J. Barrett and Quickly and Rose, when you have these type of players who could just turn it on at any moment. Jules too, but I'm just talking about, R.J. Barrett, Quickly, and Rose right now. And this is something that I've seen continuously with R.J. Barrett and his ability to turn it on in the third quarter and continue it to the fourth quarter. So I think that's something that the Knicks need to use more to their advantage. How do you feel about that?
I feel that way too. But a lot of times when it gets to that, that's because he takes it into his own hands. Because majority of the time during the first half, okay, his shots really don't fall. And then they kind of will not want to, give him the ball. And a lot of times they be open looking for it. And I'm like, are they going to pass him the ball? And for me to be a person that's really not big on the Knicks, but to be honest with you, this season I've been tuned in a lot. I kind of have no choice but to watch the Knicks game. And I love it to be, everybody's growing on me. The players are growing on me. I'm learning everybody's name. I'm learning everybody's, everyone's style of playing the game. But, I really think that during the second half, they do need to incorporate his gameplay even more. And, at pivotal moments, he like, listen, I'm about to take this game over. I don't care what nobody say. I'm going to do me. And whether you like it or not, and it allows them to win games.
Exactly. And that's something that I truly love about RJ. He can turn, once he turn his game on, it is on. He's going full throttle, and that is the time where you need to really feed him the ball. Another player that's on our team that does that is also the agent, Alex Burke. He loves to do I know, I call him the agent because he working for somebody. Listen, but Alex Burke can also do that. He could come in and not give you nothing in the first half of the game. In the second half, next thing you know, this kid is Steph Curry from the three-point line. He's shooting all types of awkward shots and all types of things of that nature. The kid is marvelous when he turns his game on. And that's something I've also noticed from R.J. Barrett. I really have to take Rose out of that because it seems like Rose turned his game on whenever he wants to, even in the first half, because he could go off in the first half. But we've seen every player do that. But I'm talking about something that's repetitive and something that I always see from R.J. Barrett. He always turns it on in the third quarter. If you notice with Tibbs, he's starting the second quarter with R.J. Barrett. He's also starting the fourth quarter with R.J. Barrett. Now that is dedication and that is believing in somebody. He knows that if Julius Randle is not on the court and R.J. Barrett is out there, he can have R.J. Barrett take over and take the helm from Julius Randle, and R.J. Barrett will produce. He has that type of mentality in him. But, I'm going to change the topic for a quick second because, we're not going to hold you guys for 50 years. We don't hold you guys for 2-3 hours talking about nothing to where everybody going to sleep. So, the next topic that I do want to talk about, though, is playoff positioning. This is going to be something that's real critical for the New York Knicks. Because right now, the Knicks are currently sitting at the fourth place in the Eastern Conference. A place no one besides me will have who will have the guts to say that at the beginning of the season. But all of that aside, I ask you, do you think the Knicks can keep it up and remain in that fourth spot for these last 7 games of the regular season?
I think so. Cause I okay. When the season started, they were doing so great. They were doing great. Then got to the middle, we like, oh my God, what are they
When they
doing?
went on that, I think it was like a 6-game losing streak.
Yeah, I'm like, what are they doing? You know, and then when they went on the what was it?
It was the
nine game winning
streak.
streak.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I see what y'all trying to do. So, now that they in the fourth seed, with the 7 games that's left, I believe they're well capable. All they have to do at least win 5 out of that 7.
Mm-hmm.
5 out of that 7, and you'll be good. As long as the other teams that's under you don't go on a winning streak.
Like the Wizards at this point in time.
But as long as because Atlanta is right behind them.
Well, Atlanta been losing. So I'm really not too worried about Atlanta. The teams that I'm worried about is mainly the Wizards and the Heat. Because the Heat right now, they've been winning their games. So right now, the Knicks, we gotta face the Nuggets. Then after that we face the Suns. Then we face the Clippers. Then the Lakers. Then the Spurs, the Hornets, and the Celtics. The games that we know that are going to be tough. The Suns game is going to be tough. The Nuggets tonight is going to be tough. The Clippers is going to be tough. I'm not too sure if LeBron James is going to play in that Lakers game. So if I say this, if that Lakers game doesn't feature LeBron, then that's a game that I believe that we definitely will win, regardless of not if they got Anthony Davis.
I still think they can win that game.
Even with LeBron? LeBron. It's going to be harder to win that game.
But as long as they play defense, because I look at it like this, the Lakers aren't really playing too good right now. Even with LeBron.
Well,
KD
LeBron basically only played what?
AD still
one game?
AD still hasn't even found his rhythm yet. To me, he still hasn't even quite found his rhythm yet. He's still missing his little mid-range floater shots that he, one off the foot that he normally makes.
Right.
His 3-pointers is still airballing. They still need to get back in rhythm. What? Schroeder just came back.
No, he's gone actually.
He went out again?
Yeah,
he just came back from the last game they played, and now he's out.
He's out.
So
he's been on a couple of games actually.
They and then what? LeBron gonna be out the next 2 games, I believe.
Yeah, I believe the next 2 games.
It's kind of crazy, right? Because I feel like at this point the Lakers should have been found themselves. You shouldn't. This just lets you know.
I mean, 1 game back in.
No. The reason.
Just hear me out for 1 quick second, please. 1 game back for LeBron, you're not finding yourself. 5 games back for Anthony Davis, you still are not fully finding yourself. He's had some games where he's averaged over 20-something points in the game, but we know that Anthony Davis hasn't found himself. By the time that they do play the Knicks themselves, I don't believe that the Lakers will have fully found themselves.
I'm not talking in that aspect. I'm talking about the fact that you guys, you have some teams when the star players is out and everybody else that's in rotation come out and play they behind off. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about. These teams, the Lakers should have already found themselves without LeBron and AD.
Well, you could say that they did.
No, because they was losing games.
They did, but
they went on a losing streak the minute LeBron got hurt. That's not finding yourself. You have where the Knicks them can find themselves without key players. This is the type of stuff that I talk about. This let me know how much a team sit there and the players sits there and rely on superstars to carry them. Learn to play ball by your goddamn self.
But you can't,
because they're
can't,
not the one.
Hold on. You really can't equate. You really can't put the Knicks in that type of position because the Knicks' prime player is Julius Randle and R.J. Barrett. They haven't lost neither one of them. R.J. has played every game this season. Julius Randle has only missed one game this season. So you can't put that in the same conversation as missing LeBron and AD.
All right. I know how to do. The perfect example.
Okay.
The Brooklyn Nets. Let's say that in a sense, there are plenty of times they superstars don't be there, but
on average, is one of their superstars there,
or
two,
but they, even if the superstars is not there, that team themselves, they know how to win games without their superstar. Who else? Let's see who can pull it out. I'm trying to think of other teams that when they superstars is not there.
No. Because I would agree with you if you said a team like, let's say, the Utah Jazz when they lost Donovan Mitchell. But you still can't equate that to the Brooklyn Nets because the Brooklyn Nets usually had two stars that was there. You remember when they lost Kevin Durant, they had Kyrie Irving and they had James Harden. Soon as James Harden went out, Kevin Durant came back. And it's been mainly him and Kyrie Irving since then. So you really you got to look at the stratosphere.
Okay, let's say the Utah Jazz then.
All I'm trying to say is basically the Lakers have won games, but they have been missing both of their primary pieces there. So, excuse me. That's all I want to say. I just don't want to put them in the same conversation as the Knicks.
It's not that I'm doing that, but this just lets you know how teams are really not that great in a sense if they don't have pivotal players on their team. But I feel like the Lakers have enough players that can shoot, that can guard, but it's like they don't tap into that. Why wouldn't you want to show what you really like? For me, if I was playing basketball and I'm like, oh, such and such ain't here, I'm going to come out every game and give my 100% because I'm going to earn my paycheck.
But I'm saying, you think that they not doing that?
I don't think so. Because I feel like that even give more the players them on the bench more playing time. For you to come out and showcase what you can really do, especially if your key players. I look at it as sad in a sense because it never fails. Anytime LeBron goes out and he leaves his team in a good standing, by the time he comes back, they in a bad position to now it's possibility that they're going to be in the playing tournament. They're going to be in the playing tournament.
I agree.
Which is sad to me. That means you cannot produce without your key player, and that's sad to me. That's sad to me. And I know he looking at it like, good God Almighty, we just won the doggone title last year. And we wasn't even on a long of a break, so y'all should still have momentum to keep going. Mm-hmm. So for me not playing, look when I left, we was in what, the third seed?
Second.
The second seed. Now they in what, the sixth?
Yeah.
And to say what touch on a little bit what Stephen A said, they got basically the same record as the Knicks. But because of how different the competition is now, and of course it's a shorter season, the Knicks is in the fourth seed with their record. And they in the 6th seed with their record. Like, that just looked terrible to me.
Or
because
to that being that.
they shouldn't even allow that to even happen when LeBron left.
I agree.
At all.
I agree.
That's just all I'm saying.
You winning me over, but I mean, I have to applaud them for even winning some of the games that they did win, because of the simple fact you didn't have your 2-star players, and not to mention Dennis Schroeder also was hurt during those times too.
I think since LeBron left,
Plus
they only won like what, 3 games?
No, they won way more than
How many
3 games.
It didn't look like they won a lot.
They was 8-14. They won 8. They lost 14 games when LeBron left.
That still ain't enough for me, because that's terrible. Y'all could have won more games than that.
I mean, you got to understand.
He was gone for like 20 games a month, almost a month.
Yeah, but you still can't. You got to understand, if you lost both of your star players, not to mention your rising star player in Dennis Schroeder, you lose him on occasions. He's hurt on occasions too with the tailbone injury. Remember, soon as Curry hit his tailbone, so did Schroeder. A couple of days later, Schroeder got injured too. Not to mention, you have to incorporate Andre Drummond into your offense. Not to mention, you got sideline hate from Marc Gasol about his role on the team. I kind of sympathize with the Lakers on why they're in this position. Not saying that that they couldn't have been better. I'm just saying I sympathize with them because the simple fact, you lost your 2 best players. You incorporated somebody else into an offense. Your 3rd best player goes down. I mean, you was just facing bad luck from all angles.
But my thing is, okay, are they having practices?
Not as many as you would in a regular season.
Okay, due to the pandemic and everything. Because my thing is, there are times when you're practicing, you have to, because I know they do 5-on-5. You have to put teams together when you're in practice that does not include your main superstars.
True. Yeah.
That way, when the ones that say your superstars are out, and you have that starting 5 that you know that's going to start when your superstars is out, and they're playing against the reserve, which is the second unit. That way, and it's going to be hardcore, just like it would be if you playing against another team.
Right.
Just to see how those teams, will play against each other. So, I don't know. It's just me.
But then you have to take into account of personnel. Who do you got on that team that's really going to take it there?
That's what I'm saying.
We've already seen that Kyle Kuzma is
a miss and go.
He's not that guy. Tellen Horton-Tucker, maybe. He may be, but he's still in his second.
Pope would have been better this year.
But you remember, he was also injured.
Yeah.
You remember when LeBron went down not too long after that? He went down also.
Caruso, he a miss and go.
Yeah, but how much can you require from Caruso? I think by the end of this season, with their remainder games, by the time the playoffs start, I think that the Lakers should be just as good as they were at the beginning of the season.
And you had said that too. It seemed like they show up in the playoffs.
Every team that LeBron has ever been, you be asking, and get in the comment section, guys, and let me know what your thoughts on this. Do you agree with what I'm saying? Every team that LeBron has mainly been on, except for a couple of times, as far as like with Kyrie Irving, and with the Miami Heat. You remember he went to the finals when he was with Cleveland, his first time there before he even left and went to Miami, and he lost. Do you agree with me? LeBron's teams usually struggles in the regular season and turn it on in the playoffs. There's always a rumor, a question about how his team will fare on. They're always the underdogs in the finals. and wind up pulling out a win. Not in every cases as we have seen, but in a few cases that he has won the championships, they were the underdogs. You could really say that they was the underdogs last season too, because everybody picked the Clippers to go to the finals, but they got put out by the Denver Nuggets. If you look at it this year, they are currently the underdogs because of the Brooklyn Nets. They are always the underdogs. So never count LeBron James out when it comes down to it. But you got anything else that you want to say? Yeah, I think we covered everything. So, I mean, we just want to say thank you guys for joining us and tuning in. And like I said, if you're new to the channel, please make sure that you like and subscribe. Hit that notification button and link in with your boys, because we will be dropping new videos and we will be doing more podcasts for you guys. Until next time, peace.